Sometimes, the best way to get revenge is to just disappear and be better. So they thought they had you figured out, didn't they? They thought you'd always crawl back, always apologize, always play your little role in their self-centered theater. Oh, how predictable you were. So obedient, so forgiving, so easy to manipulate. But today, oh, today is different. Because today is the day you finally wake up. Today is the day you flip the script. Today is the day they lose control. And let me tell you, my friends, they'll never forget it. Oh no, this one's going to haunt them. Before we dive in, do me a favor. Smash that like button like you're slamming the door in their face. Hit subscribe, because what we're about to do is just getting started. Now stay with me. Let's play a little game. Imagine you're a puppet, wooden arms, strings attached, dancing every time they pull. They tilt their head, you tilt yours. They frown, you frown. They whisper sweet lies, and oh, you believe every single one, because that's what they taught you, right? That's how they kept you on your knees. But one day, something happens, a shift. A tiny flicker of realization. You see the strings, and oh, once you see the strings, you can't unsee them. You realize you've been dancing to a song that wasn't even yours. And in that moment, you do the one thing they never expected. You cut the strings. Silence, stillness. The puppet doesn't dance anymore, and suddenly, they panic. They need you to react. They need you to move, to argue, to scream, to beg, but you don't. You just stand there, detached, unbothered, watching them squirm. And oh, my friends, it's delicious, because here's the truth. They never had power over you. You just let them believe they did. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Every time you explained yourself, every time you chased, every time you let their opinion dictate your worth, you handed them the keys to your mind. You let them build a kingdom inside your head, renting space while you stood outside like a peasant, begging to be let in. But not today, not anymore. Today is the day you take back the keys. Today is the day you burn the kingdom to the ground. And oh, they're going to feel it. They'll feel it in every ignored text, every call that goes straight to voicemail, every moment they reach out and find nothing, because you're gone. And not just physically. No. You're gone from their grip, from their control, from their little game. And here's the best part. You don't have to do a damn thing. No revenge, no angry messages, no dramatic exits, just silence. Because silence, oh silence, is a mirror. It forces them to look at themselves, to sit in their own mess, to realize maybe for the first time that without you, they are nothing. And oh, that realization, that's the real punishment. This isn't about revenge in the way they expect. This isn't about proving anything. This is a kind of revenge that doesn't scream, doesn't beg, doesn't chase. The kind that just disappears and thrives. So here's what I want you to do. Take a deep breath. Feel the weight of their control, their manipulation, their games, and let it all go right now. Let it go, because today is yours. Say it, write it, own it. I choose myself. Drop it in the comments. Say it like you mean it, like it's already done, because it is. Now smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's get into it. Oh, this is just the beginning. Let's go. Number 1, burn the old version of you. Imagine this. You've been living in a house for years, a house they built for you. The walls are cracked, the roof leaks, the doors barely open, but they told you this is your home. They told you to be grateful for what you have, and so you stayed. You learned to live with the brokenness. You told yourself that this was just how things were. But one day, you wake up and see the truth. The walls weren't just cracked, they were cages. The roof wasn't leaking, it was collapsing in on you. And you weren't living, you were just existing inside a lie. So what do? Do you stay? Do you pick up a bucket and try to catch the leaks? Do you patch the walls, repaint the same old illusion, pretend that everything is fine? No. You burn the whole damn house down because you were never meant to fit inside their version of you. You were meant to break free, to rebuild, to become something they never saw coming. And oh, that terrifies them, because when you burn the old version of you, they lose control. They can't guilt you. They can't manipulate you. They can't pull you back into the same cycle of doubt and dependency. You are gone, and in your place, someone stronger, someone they can't touch. But I know what you're thinking. What if I fail? What if I end up alone? What if I regret it? That's the fear talking, the voice they planted inside your head, whispering you need them. You can't do this alone. But let me tell you something. They lied. You were never weak. You were never dependent. You were conditioned to believe you were. Because as long as you stayed afraid, they stayed comfortable. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. You will feel the fear. You will hear that voice. It will try to pull you back, try to convince you that breaking free is too much, too risky, too impossible. But listen to me, my friend. Fear is just a test, a wall that dares you to climb over it. And when you do, oh, when you do, you'll look back and wonder why you ever hesitated. Because the truth is, there was never anything on the other side of that fear but freedom. But I won't lie to you. This isn't easy. Burning the old version of you means letting go of everything that kept you comfortable. The excuses, the justifications, the people who claimed to love you, but only loved the version of you that served them. It means walking away from the past, even when it calls your name. They will try to pull you back. They will remind you of the good times. They will say you're overreacting. They will call you cold, selfish, heartless. Because to them, your transformation isn't just a loss. It's an insult. It proves that you never actually needed them, that their power over you was an illusion all along. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. You keep walking, keep rising, keep proving, not to them, but to yourself, that you are more than the version of you they created. Because let's get real, that old version of you wasn't even you. It was a watered-down, silenced, shrunken version, built to be accepted instead of respected, built to keep others happy while you suffered in silence. That version wasn't living, it was surviving. And you, my friend, you were meant for more. A ship is safe in harbor, but that's not what ships are built for. So what now? Now you decide who you are. No more waiting for approval. No more asking for permission. No more bending over backward just to be seen, heard, loved. From this moment on, you call the shots. Let them watch. Let them whisper. Let them wonder how the hell they lost the person they thought would never leave. Because today is the day you stop being their puppet and start being your own force. And that old version of you, the one they controlled, let it burn. Say this with me. I am not who I was. I am who I choose to be. Write it in the comments. Let them see it. Let yourself see it. Let the world around you feel it. And we're not done yet. Oh no, this is just the beginning. Because now that you've burned the past, you need to build the future. And what comes next? Oh, that's where the real power begins. So hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with me. Because we're about to turn silence into power and absence into their biggest nightmare. Let's go. Number 2, silence as your ultimate power move. Let me tell you, they're waiting for it. The reaction, the explosion, the desperate text, the long-winded explanation, the emotional outburst that proves they still have control over you, that you still care, that you're still the same predictable version of yourself they've always played with, like a toy on a string. But instead you give them nothing, no anger, no pleading, no apology, just silence. Cold, heavy, unshakable. And oh my friend, that silence will drive them insane. Before we go any further, smash that like button, because what I'm about to tell you is going to change the way you handle every manipulative person in your life. Subscribe, because this journey is just getting started. Now imagine this. You're in an argument, but not just any argument. The kind where someone's face is twisted in frustration, voice raised, trying so hard to get under your skin. They're throwing insults, digging into old wounds, waiting for you to snap. And you just stand there. Expression calm, eyes steady. Not a single word escapes your lips. No reaction, no fuel for their fire. And suddenly they stumble. The words coming out of their mouth start to lose power. Their anger turns into desperation, because what they really want isn't just to hurt you. It's to see that they hurt you. It's to watch you flinch, to watch you break. But when you refuse to give them that, oh my friend, they start to unravel. Silence is the best reply to a fool. Every unreturned call, every ignored text, every moment where they expect a reaction and receive nothing, it's a dagger to their ego. Because silence is not passive, it's an execution. You see, manipulative people don't survive on logic, respect, or real connection. They survive on your reactions. They feed on your anger, your tears, your confusion. They poke and prod, looking for that emotional opening to pull you back in. Silence starves them. It forces them to sit in their own emptiness, their own failures, their own lack of power. It forces them to realize that without your energy, your validation, without your constant effort to prove your worth, they are nothing. Oh, they'll pretend they don't care. They'll act unbothered, but deep down, they'll be losing their minds. A lion does not turn around when a small dog barks. They will test you, they will bait you, they will send messages just to get a reaction, a sign of life, a tiny thread they can pull to bring you back in. Ignore it. They will act as if your silence means nothing. Ignore it. They will tell mutual friends that they never cared anyway, that they've moved on. Ignore it. Because trust me, behind closed doors, they're suffering. You see, they expected you to break. They expected you to come crawling back, to ask for closure, to explain yourself like you always have. Before, they knew exactly how to push your buttons, how to control your emotions, how to make sure you never truly left. But now you've changed the game. You've ripped the power right out of their hands. And the best part? You didn't even have to say a word. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Now I know what you're thinking. But what if they think I don't care? What if they move on? What if they replace me? Let them. Let them chase the illusion of control elsewhere. Let them try to fill the void you left with cheap distractions. Because here's the truth. They won't find another you. They might replace the attention, but they won't replace the power you had over them. They will replay moments in their heads, wondering why you didn't fight, why you didn't beg, why you didn't give them the drama they so desperately needed. They will scroll through old messages, looking for the version of you that used to bleed for them. But they won't find that version anymore. because that version doesn't exist. And that's why your silence is the loudest thing they will ever hear. But let me warn you, it won't be easy. The urge to respond will creep in. The need for closure, for justice, for some kind of ending that feels fair. Fight it. They don't deserve closure. They don't deserve explanations. They don't deserve access to you anymore. And when they finally realize that, when the silence becomes too much for them to handle, that's when they break. Not you, them. Never waste your words on those who deserve your silence. Because silence, it's not weakness. It's self-control. It's mastery. It's the ultimate power move. And oh, when they finally realize that you're gone, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, it will hit them harder than anything you could have ever said. Because words can be argued with, but silence cannot be ignored. So here's what I want you to do right now. Take a deep breath, feel the urge to react, and let it go. Right now, let it go. Because today, you choose silence over chaos. Say it with me. My silence is my power. Write it in the comments. Show them, show yourself, show the world. And we're just getting started, because next, oh next, we talk about what happens when you outgrow them without looking back. Hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with me, because they have no idea what's coming next. Number 3, outgrow them without looking back. So folks, do you know what they wanted? They wanted you stuck. They wanted you waiting, hoping, orbiting around their approval like a lost planet around a dying sun. They needed you small, because as long as you were small, they felt big. As long as you were dependent, they felt powerful. As long as you kept seeking their validation, they stayed in control. But what happens when you stop waiting? What happens when you stop looking back? I'll tell you what happens. You outgrow them. And that, oh, that will shatter them in a way they never expected. Before we go deeper, smash that like button, because what I'm about to tell you is not just motivation. It's a blueprint for leaving them in the dust. Subscribe, because this is only the beginning of your evolution. Now imagine this. You're running a race, and they're standing behind you, yelling for you to stop. But here's the catch. They're not running. They never were. They were just standing still, pretending they were ahead, only because you kept turning around to check on them. But the moment you stop looking back, the moment you focus on your own path, your own speed, your own damn finish line, they disappear. Because the truth is, they were never running with you. They were holding you back. They needed you to wait so they could feel ahead. They needed you to doubt yourself so they could feel secure. They needed you to fail so they wouldn't have to face their own lack of growth. Oh, but now you're done waiting. And when they see you thriving, glowing, unstoppable, when they see you walking into rooms with power, laughing without hesitation, making moves without asking for permission, it will break them. A lion does not concern himself with the opinion of sheep. They'll say you've changed. They'll call you cold, arrogant, selfish. Because to them, your growth isn't just a loss, it's an insult. Why? Because your evolution exposes their stagnation. When you were struggling, when you were unsure of yourself, when you kept coming back, they felt safe. Your pain was proof that they still mattered. But now your success, your confidence, your freedom is a mirror that forces them to see exactly what they are and exactly what they never became. Oh, they'll pretend they don't care. They'll post their fake happiness, their forced smiles, their little attempts to make you jealous. But deep down, they're watching you win. And Nothing is more painful for them than that. The best revenge is massive success. But let me be clear, this isn't about revenge. This isn't about making them suffer. This isn't even about them. This is about you. Because you were never meant to stay small. You were never meant to shrink yourself just so they could feel comfortable. You were never meant to be a supporting character in their story when you were born to be the main character in your own. And I won't lie to you, this isn't easy. Growth, real unstoppable growth, is painful, lonely, terrifying. Because it means leaving behind everything that held you back, even the things that once felt familiar, even the people who once felt like home. If you want to fly, give up everything that weighs you down. And they will try to pull you back. They will test you. They will bait you. They will suddenly act like they care, suddenly remember your worth, suddenly want to be part of your life again. Ignore it. Because if they truly valued you, they wouldn't have waited until you were winning to start seeing your worth. If they truly loved you, they wouldn't have let you suffer just so they could feel superior. And if they truly belonged in your future, they wouldn't have been so comfortable keeping you stuck in the past. When you learn how much you're worth, you'll stop giving people discounts. So keep moving, keep rising, keep outgrowing them so fast that they can't even keep up. Let them watch, let them wonder. Let them feel the emptiness where you used to be, because this is your time. Say it with me. I outgrow everything that holds me back. Write it in the comments. Show them, show yourself, show the world. And we're not stopping here, because now that you're moving forward, now that you're unstoppable, it's time to talk about mastering the art of non-reaction. Oh, you thought silence was powerful. Just wait until you see what happens when you become truly untouchable. Hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with me, because they have no idea what's coming next. Number 4, master the art of non-reaction. And let me tell you, they want a reaction. They need it. They crave it like oxygen, because as long as you react, they still have control. As long as you get angry, get emotional, explain yourself, they still matter. But what happens when you give them nothing? They drown in their own desperation. Before we go any further, smash that like button, because what I'm about to tell you is going to change the way you deal with every manipulator, every fake friend, every person who ever tried to control your emotions. Subscribe, because this is how you become untouchable. Now imagine this. You're standing in front of a mirror and someone is screaming at it, throwing insults, trying to break it, waiting for the mirror to react. But here's the thing. A mirror doesn't respond. A mirror just reflects. And when you stop reacting, when you stop feeding their need for drama, that's exactly what happens. They see themselves. Oh, and trust me, they won't like what they see. They will test you. They will push every button, try every trick, dig up every painful memory just to force you to react. Because that's how they win. They want you angry so they can play the victim. They want you defensive so they can twist the narrative. They want you emotional so they can tell everyone you're unstable or dramatic. But when you give them nothing, when you just stand there, calm, unshaken, watching them implode under their own weight, oh my friend, that's when you win. Silence is a true friend who never betrays. Non-reaction is not weakness, it's strategy. It's the art of letting them self-destruct without you lifting a single finger. Because here's the truth. They aren't mad at you. They're mad at their own inability to control you. And when they realize their words don't cut, their manipulation doesn't work, their games don't pull you back in, that's when the panic sets in. They will spiral, they will obsess, they will scramble to find another way to get under your skin. Ignore it. They will send texts that bait you into responding. Ignore it. They will post things to make you jealous, make you doubt yourself, make you wonder if they ever cared. Ignore it. They will talk about you behind your back, hoping it gets back to you so you'll explode. Ignore it. Because every time you react, every time you let their words pull you back in, you give them power. But every time you stay calm, every time you walk away, instead of fighting a battle that isn't worth your energy, you strip that power away. A wise man is not disturbed by things he cannot control. Now, I won't lie to you. This isn't easy. Every part of you will want to defend yourself, to call them out, to make them see the truth. But the truth? They already know. They just don't care. They don't argue because they want to understand you. They argue because they want to control you. And when you stop giving them that, when you master your emotions instead of letting them master you, they lose completely. Oh, and the best part? They'll never admit it, but they'll spend every waking moment wondering why they can't shake you anymore. They'll overthink every interaction, every time you walked away, every moment you didn't give them the energy they so desperately needed. And that will eat them alive. When you cannot be manipulated, you cannot be controlled. So what now? Now you practice. The next time someone tries to provoke you, pause. Feel the pull of emotion, the urge to react, and let it pass. Because today, you master your emotions. Say it with me. I control my emotions. They do not control me. Write it in the comments. Show them, show yourself, show the world. And we're not stopping here. Because now that you're untouchable, now that you're a force they can't break, it's time to talk about strengthening your presence without saying a word. Oh, you thought silence was powerful. Wait until you see what happens when you walk into a room and own it without speaking. Number 5, build an unbreakable inner circle. Associate with people who are likely to improve you. So folks, listen up. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone who claps for you wants to see you win. Not everyone who smiles at you respects you. Some people, they just stick around for what they can take. They drain your energy, feed off your kindness, and leave you empty. And for too long, you let them linger, hoping they'd change, hoping they'd finally show up for you the way you showed up for them. But deep down, you knew they weren't your people. But today, oh, today that ends. Before we go further, smash that like button, because what I'm about to say is going to cut deep. But it's exactly what you need to hear. Subscribe, because we're building something unbreakable, and you need to be part of it. Now imagine this. You're a king or a queen, standing at the gates of your kingdom. Behind those gates is your life, your energy, your peace, your future. But outside, there's a crowd. Some who love you, some who envy you, and some who just want to get inside to see what they can take. And for years you left the gates wide open. You let people walk in, take what they wanted, and leave a mess behind. Some stole your confidence, some drained your happiness, and some just took up space pretending to be there for you when they never really were. And now you're closing the damn gates. Oh, some will fight it. They'll say you're acting different, that you're being cold. But here's the truth. You are acting different. You're finally choosing yourself. And if that makes them uncomfortable, too bad. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that. If you're surrounded by people who complain, who make excuses, who settle for mediocrity, guess what? That energy rubs off on you. You start to lower your own standards, convincing yourself that maybe this is just how life is. But when you're surrounded by winners, by people who push you, challenge you, demand the best from you. You start to rise. Your inner circle should be your fortress, your sanctuary, your power source. So let's break it down. Cut off the leeches, the ones who only come around when they need something, the ones who drain your energy and give you nothing in return. Cut off the manipulators, the ones who make you feel guilty for having boundaries, the ones who play the victim every time you try to step up in life. Cut off the energy thieves, the ones who always have a problem but never a solution, the ones who bring drama, negativity, and chaos into your world like it's their full-time job. And who do you let in? The ones who elevate you, who challenge you to be better, who celebrate your wins without envy, who remind you of your worth when you forget, the ones who respect you, who don't take advantage of your kindness, who honor your boundaries, who show up for you without conditions, the ones who push you forward, who call you out when you're slacking, who refuse to let you settle, who inspire you just by being in your life. Surround yourself with only people who are going to lift you higher. Now, I won't lie to you. This isn't easy. Letting go of people, especially ones who have been part of your life for years, that's hard. The guilt, the doubt, the loneliness, it's real. But here's what you need to remember. You're not abandoning them, you're just choosing yourself first. And if they were truly your people, they wouldn't have made you feel like you had to choose between them and your growth. Oh, and here's the kicker. The moment they realize they lost access to you, they'll feel it. They'll try to come back. They'll act like they've changed. They'll promise they're different now. Ignore it. Because if they respected you, they wouldn't have needed to lose you to start valuing you. And if they truly belonged in your life, they would have grown with you, not held you back. Some people don't want to be fixed because being broken gets them attention. So today you choose your circle wisely. You make your energy a privilege, not a free-for-all. You become intentional about who you let into your life because your peace, your future, your success, they depend on it. Say it with me. I only surround myself with people who elevate me. Write it in the comments. Show them, show yourself, show the world. And we're not stopping here, because now that your circle is locked in, now that you've built a foundation of strength, it's time to talk about strengthening your presence without saying a single word. Oh, you thought non-reaction was powerful. Wait until you see what happens when you walk into a room and own it without speaking. Number 6, strengthen your presence without saying a word. So my friends, let's talk about presence, the kind that shakes a room without making a sound. You see, weak people rely on words. They explain, they justify, they beg to be understood. But power, true power, it needs no introduction. When you walk into a room, you don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to explain your worth. You don't need their approval, because the way you carry yourself says everything. Before we dive in, smash that like button, because today, you're learning how to become undeniable. Subscribe, because from this moment on, the way you move through this world is about to change. Now imagine this. A lion steps into a clearing. It doesn't growl, it doesn't roar, it doesn't announce its presence. It just walks, steady, unbothered, powerful. And the rest of the jungle, they feel it. That's what we're aiming for, that kind of undeniable energy. But let me tell you something. They don't expect this from you. They expect you small. They expect you apologetic. They expect you to walk in with nervous energy, looking around, waiting for permission to exist. But today, you rewrite the script. You can tell more about a person by how they walk into a room than by what they say. So let's break it down. First, your posture. Stand tall, shoulders back, head high, like you belong wherever you are because you do. Second, your movement. No hesitation, no uncertainty, no rushing like you're trying to be invisible. Move like you own the ground beneath your feet. Third, your eye contact. Look people in the eye, not in a creepy, aggressive way, just steady, controlled, present. The kind of look that says, I see you, but I don't need you to see me. Because that's what confidence is. It's not arrogance. It's not about being the loudest person in the room. It's about owning your space without asking for permission. Power is not given. It is taken. And let's be clear, they will notice. The ones who once controlled you, the ones who fed off your insecurity. Oh, they'll feel the shift. They'll look at you and wonder what changed. They'll test you. They'll try to pull you back with words, with old tricks, with anything that might make you shrink again. Ignore it. Because when they see you standing tall, moving with purpose, carrying yourself like a force that cannot be bent, they will know they lost their grip on you. And that will break them more than any words ever could. A king needs no validation from his subjects. But let me be real with you. This isn't easy. Because the truth is, your body remembers the past. It remembers the times you made yourself small to avoid confrontation. The times you slouched so no one would notice you. The times you avoided eye contact because you didn't want to seem too much. Breaking out of that takes practice. So starting today, practice. When you walk, walk with purpose. When you stand, stand like you mean it. When you look at someone, look through them, not at them. And here's the thing. This isn't just about how others see you. It's about how you see yourself. Because when you start carrying yourself like you belong, you start believing that you do. And that belief, that confidence, that undeniable presence, it changes everything. Act as if. The secret to every powerful person you've ever met. Because here's the truth. Nobody is going to hand you power. You take it. So starting today, you own every space you step into. Say it with me. I carry myself with power. Write it in the comments. Show them, show yourself, show the world. And we're not stopping here. Because now that you own the room, it's time to talk about dominating your own lane. Oh, you thought presence was power. Wait until you see what happens when you become so focused on your own success that nothing else matters. Number 7, dominate in your own lane. So my friends, let's talk about the one thing they can't handle. Watching you win without them, watching you build while they crumble, watching you rise while they stay stuck in the same cycle of excuses, jealousy, and regret. Because let's be real, the moment you stop chasing them and start chasing your purpose, that's the moment they lose all power over you. Before we go any further, smash that like button, because today we put the final nail in their coffin. Subscribe, because this is where you leave them behind permanently. Now imagine this. You're on a racetrack, the gun goes off, and you take off. Focused, driven, unstoppable. But as you run, you hear voices behind you, yelling, laughing, calling your name, trying to distract you. Do you turn around? Do you stop running? No, you keep moving, because the second you turn back, you lose momentum. And that's exactly how life works. The moment you stop pursuing your goals, your vision, your future, just to check on people who aren't even running, you lose. They wanted you stuck, waiting, doubting yourself. Because as long as you were focused on them, you weren't focused on you. But now, oh now you're too busy winning. The wolf does not concern himself with the opinion of the sheep. And oh, trust me, they will notice. They will stalk, watching from the shadows, refreshing your page, asking mutual friends what you're up to. Because suddenly you've become the one they can't ignore. They will gossip, pretending they don't care, downplaying your success, making up stories to make themselves feel better. Because deep down, they know they lost you. They will wonder, replaying every conversation, every decision, every moment they took you for granted. Because now they realize you were never replaceable. And the best part, they will never, ever be able to reach you again. Because the moment you step into your own lane, your own power, your own destiny, you move at a speed they can't keep up with. And that is their worst nightmare. Success is the greatest revenge. But let's be clear, this isn't about revenge. This isn't about proving them wrong or making them regret what they did. This is about you. Because when you become so consumed with building your empire, perfecting your craft, chasing your goals, and living the life you were meant to live, their opinion stops existing. And that's where the real power is. But I won't lie to you. This takes discipline. It takes cutting off distractions. It takes getting up early and grinding when no one is watching. It takes staying focused when everyone else is playing games. But the reward? Oh, the reward is freedom. Freedom from their opinions, freedom from their drama, freedom from their expectations, and most importantly, freedom from the version of you that once cared about their approval. Let them hate. Just make sure they spell your name right. So here's what you do. You lock in, you build, you grow, you become unstoppable. And when they finally realize that they're not part of your future, that they can't touch you, reach you, or pull you back, they'll hate every second of it. But that's not your problem, because by then, you'll be too far ahead to even notice. Say it with me. I focus on my success, not their opinions. Write it in the comments. Show them, show yourself, show the world. And we're not stopping here, because now that you're winning, now that you've left them behind, it's time for the final move. The one that ensures they never, ever get a second chance. Oh, you thought this was powerful? Wait until you see what happens when you never let them back in. Number 8, never let them back in. Do not return to the fire that once burned you. And my friends, they will come back. They always do. The moment they see your transformation, the moment they realize you're no longer waiting, suffering, begging for their approval, they'll feel it. And that feeling? It will terrify them, because now they're the ones chasing. Before we get into it, smash that like button, because today we shut the door forever. Subscribe, because once you understand this, you will never fall for their tricks again. Now let me paint you a picture. You're walking away, stepping into your power, your success, your new life, and behind you, oh, behind you, they're scrambling. First, the message, a casual, "Hey, how have you been?" Like nothing ever happened. Then the call, their voice softer, playing the part of someone who misses you, who suddenly remembers how important you were. And when that doesn't work, oh, that's when they beg. "I've changed. I didn't mean to hurt you. I made a mistake. Let's start over." Lies, all of it. Because here's the truth. If they respected you, they never would have put you through this in the first place. They didn't change. They didn't wake up and realize your worth. They just realized they lost control, and now they want back into the kingdom they burned to the ground. Ignore it. No explanations, no second chances, no soft spots for their crocodile tears. You keep moving forward. Because the greatest pain they will ever feel is knowing that you never looked back. Say it with me. I do not return to what broke me. Write it in the comments. Show them, show yourself, show the world. So folks, today is the day you choose yourself. The day you step into power, silence, and unshakable self-mastery. They will never forget this moment, because from this day forward, you are untouchable. Let them watch, let them wonder, let them feel the void where you used to be. But you're already gone. So smash that like button, share this message, and let the world see what happens when you reclaim your power.